So. Today we've got another movie review for you in one day. I know we did one earlier today, but today we're going to be reviewing for you a different type of movie. This is more of a Hollywood production that came out a couple weeks ago called G20. I do actually have a backdrop of the movie just to mix things up because not every video we have the backdrop, the poster, or whatever behind us just to make it more interesting for you to watch. And so before we get into how I feel about this movie, I'll give it a 10, stuff like that. So this is the most recent Amazon Prime exclusive movie, one of the most recent Amazon Prime exclusive movies anyway, where you have Anthony Starr coming back onto your small screen instead of the boys from last year, which I personally wasn't the biggest fan of. I was like, Anthony Starr's in this movie. The movie's not receiving a big wow from the internet. What is this movie all about? That's the kind of context we're going in with here. And Anthony Starr's a really good actor, so there's a lot of elements where you're like, is this going to be any good? The movie sounds really silly, sounds really cheesy. So there's all of that. You're going to find out my thoughts in a minute. But what you kind of have here, this will be a spoiler-free film review, as this movie came out a couple of weeks ago. It'd be different if the movie came out months and months ago, but a couple of weeks ago means that some people can still have a chance to watch this one, so there's definitely all of that, right? So what the movie is actually about is you've got Viola Davis, you've got Anthony Starr, and a few other actors in this movie, and it's meant to be kind of like this really cheesy, really silly, it's like a gimmick film where the government is proceeding a plan, there's a plan going on, and then there's a woman in the government that's trying to stop all of the chaos, all of the mayhem. She wants to make sure that the government is actually being the good guys, which is a thing you wouldn't expect because the government are always up to these shady, corrupt things, which the movie touches on. But you've got this woman in the government, like, no, I want the government to do the good things. I want my family to stay safe. Like, that's the kind of movie you're in for here. This movie is, I think it's an hour and 45 minutes, hour and 55 minutes, something like that. It's not a very long film, so there's all of that. How did I personally feel about the movie? So, honestly, this movie blew me away. Now, I'm not going to tell you that this is like the film of the year or anything, but the movie really does actually lean in on the crazy gimmick that it's going for here. It's got some absolute crazy action kills. You see a little bit of like throat net, like you see people's throats getting like this is like it's like oh that kind of thing. Like yeah, you're in for a ride here, and then you get all these fun scenes and there's some action sequences where I noticed myself as well. I don't think there's a lot of CGI in this movie. It is obviously an Amazon Prime film, but the action scenes do feel a little bit natural. Like I could actually feel like there's a helicopter in the background here. Like I could actually feel like there was actual people on this set and all of that. A couple of things we'll have to use green screen, but for the most part, the action sequences were well produced, and you could feel like the action is going somewhere. And the storyline, yeah, of course, it's predictable. You know where it's heading. You know that the main bad guy, the main good guy is gonna win. The main bad guy is gonna lose. All of that, right? You've got all of that, but this movie's really good. The biggest, only probably the only one of the only complaints I have about the movie is the first 10-15 minutes where the movie decides to explain this entire concept to you, explain the actual lore of the movie before the movie even starts. So if there wasn't a lot of that and they trimmed that down a bit, maybe this movie could have actually been better, but it had to build up. I suppose you could say it kind of had to build up into that action. But yeah, that's probably my biggest complaint. And I'm going to be honest into saying that Viola Davis's family members, like the little kids that pretty much get into these crazy situations, they're okay, they're not the greatest, but they're inside of a movie that's already entertaining and already fun enough. So they're just kind of sitting there in the bits of the movies, like, all right, whatever. But yeah, I definitely think Viola Davis and Anthony Starr take this away and make it a really good home run for Amazon Prime. It's a really fun time. It really creates a situation where you're like, yeah, I was entertained by that. I was thrilled by that. Would I? It's the question still remains: would I watch this film again? No, you get the point. You get the point after one viewing. It's this kind of film where you watch it once, you go watch two other movies. Like, yeah, so what was that movie about again? Like, it's that kind of film. So honestly, out of 10 here, a solid 7 out of 10. It does the job that's needing to be done inside of an entertainment aspect and context. It gives you all of that stuff. It gives you fun action, insanely fun, bloody gory. There's some gory scenes, so definitely don't recommend you watch this with your entire family. Maybe watch it with people that actually are, 15-year-olds or whatever, but not watch it with, like, kids that are under the age of 10 or whatever, under the age of 12, whatever, because it's that kind of film where, there is a few things that I don't think kids will understand and all of that, so, yeah, there's definitely all of that, but I definitely enjoyed this movie, so that's my review of G20. I actually wrapped up the watch of the film like an hour or so ago. It's that kind of movie where you don't have to sit there for days on end thinking about it, because in the first place of watching it, you don't have to think so much at all. So yeah, see you next time for another review on the James Ramon Reviews. Had a good fun time blast watching the movie and doing this review. So yeah, bye, 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 bye.